see us at the top. They wanna see us on the block. Hustle off chops, still doing jobs. I was looking at the rock, now I'm looking at the top. They don't wanna see us at the top. They wanna see us on the block. Hustle off chops, still doing jobs. I was looking at the rock, now I'm looking at the top.
Morning. So right now I'm heading to the car wash and we're doing something different today. I'm gonna take you guys back to the area I grew up in, share a few stories and give you guys an insight of my upbringing. Oh, bro. All right, bro. Good.
How are you?
Yeah, just in and out, please. Same thing,
sure.
In and out, same as usual, my bro.
Easy.
Okay.
Right, thank you.
I wash my car at least twice a week. For me, there's nothing like a clean car. It just feels different when you're driving it. You got to be proud in everything you do, everything you have, because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So if you keep the car clean, you got to keep yourself clean, keep yourself groomed. It's how you present yourself, you know. So something so simple like that, just keeping things clean, goes a very long way. Is there anything you need to go over in the meantime, or we can chat later?
Actually, yeah, so look, Raw Afterpay, the lady, she sent me an email a few days ago just saying like, oh, we're still following it up, and then I've sent another email, still no response. It's a bit of a pressing one because I called them up and they won't like give me access to anything.
All right, and Afterpay, do what you got to do, and if you need me to jump in for anything, just call me, okay? I'll be active.
Yeah, I need you to call them.
Oh, do you need me to call them?
Yeah, because they won't allow me to...
Wait, me or Ace?
You, because Raw's under your name.
All right, let me know, all right? All right, bye.
All right, bye.
These are the issues you face when you have online businesses. Right now I've got issues with Afterpay. They're trying to cancel our whole Afterpay service. I'm not too sure why, but again, I'm gonna have to get on the phone to them, figure out the issue, come up with a solution. Oh, we just finished washing the car and now we're heading to the first stop, which is the house I grew up in. I'm gonna show you guys around, share some stories. I've done a video on Polly White with Sangha, but this time I'm just gonna share some different stories and my cousin will meet us there and he'll refresh my memory with some other stories too. The place I grew up in. Let's see if someone's home. Yeah, some of my friends, like they spin out. Even when I done the show the last time I came here, I had friends hitting me up saying, bro, I had no idea that's where you lived. I knew you lived in the area, but not in that house, you know, not in a garage. Look, these are the things you're not proud of when you're younger, but when you get older, obviously you've made change, you've grown. These are the things you're very proud of. I'm very proud of where I came from. I'm very proud of everything I learned. So look who's here. Hey, Vita.
Man, this place has changed.
How are you, my brother? Love, bro. How are you, bro? Bro, this is the first time we've been back here in 10 years with another family member. So I come here at least twice a week and I just pull up right here, pull up in the driveway and just reflect and just remind myself how blessed I am, how far I've come. But yeah, but this is the first time I grew up with Vita. We grew up here together. I actually changed this guy's nappies until he was probably like 15 years old. But yeah, man, we've come a long way, bro. We've come a long way. Vitz lived in the front house with his mum, sister, grandparents, Sione. Was that it?
Yeah, and my dad.
And his dad, so 7 people. And in this house was me, my mum, my 2 sisters. So total there was 10 people living just here. Yeah, let's see if anyone's home. Hello? Hello? I feel bad, there's someone there, but they're tripping out, hiding, like shivering behind the door. Hello, I just want to say a few words and that. All right, so we got to get out of here. I just started knocking on the door and I seen a lady behind the door. She was shivering, so I don't want her to feel uncomfortable. I don't want her to call the cops. I wanted to speak to her because last time I came here, we weren't able to get inside the front house or the back house where I grew up because I really wanted to show you guys inside what it's like. But that's all right. Look, if you want to get a bit of an insight, I'm going to add Sangha's link, Polly Wide, where I came here last time, in the description so you guys can check it out. But in the meantime, let's go check out the area, show you guys how we grew up around here. This was my home. This was my home until the age of like 21, 22. This is where I grew up. If you look in here, see this place here? See right here? That's where we put all our clothes. We had one of those, you know, those baby beds? Yeah. Just fold all our clothes up. That was our cot there, and I had a wardrobe right next to it. That first door right there, that was our bedroom. So that was where my sisters had bunk beds on the right side, so one was on the bottom, one was on the top. There was another single bed on the left side, that's where my mum slept, and I used to sleep on the floor. See how there's writing on the wall? My sisters used to like write stuff on the wall. Like, there was a lot of just Bible references and stuff that helped us get by. And right in this corner was our kitchen. So we had we just had a table. We had a table across there, table across here, microwave, kettle, whole bunch of noodles. Yeah, like I said, it was a blessing. So this was the back entrance to our bathroom. So we had this one toilet right here. The lock was literally a nail. That's what literally, seriously, it was literally just a nail. And I remember the door had like an opening in it, and that literally had to service me, my two sisters, my mum, my grandma, my grandfather, my uncle, my auntie, her two kids, 10 of us, one toilet. So I've gone back to it now, and that was our back door. So our lock again was just a nail, like one of those hinges, and you could unlock it. You could unlock it from there. Little funny story I want to share with everybody. So I'll never forget my sister's got like a pet rabbit. I can't remember if it was called Snow or Whitey or whatever. This little rabbit. And I came home one day, and my sisters were traumatized, crying because their bunny had passed away with no clue what had happened. And my sisters prepared like the rabbit was put in like in a cloth, and they wanted to have a funeral. They were little kids, you know, my sisters, and it's around here somewhere. But I'll never forget the story because they wanted to have a full ceremony, and I was tripping out because with my father, we'd eat rabbits, we'd eat rabbit spaghetti, you know, with tomato sauce. So in my head, I'm like, don't worry, it's just a rabbit. But because my sisters were so like sad about the situation, they wanted to do a prayer. So I remember I was here and I was digging a hole like big enough for the rabbit. I had the rabbit was so stiff because when he passed away, like he stiffened up. The rabbit was so stiff, and I kind of tried to measure how big the hole had to be. And I remember my sister was holding the rabbit, and I'm digging the hole. And when my sister, she was holding the rabbit, she did like a full prayer. It was a beautiful prayer, and she passed me the rabbit. And when I put it in, the hole wasn't big enough, and I remember I had the shovel, and I'm trying to like wedge the thing in, and my sister started screaming, crying, and I was like, oh man. So that was just a funny story, but like I laugh about it now with my sisters. But again, these are the memories that I have at this place. It just means so much to us. Here, like I said, there was 10 people. There was one toilet, one shower servicing 10 people, and us living in this garage and me getting into plumbing allowed me to learn that skill to build this. I actually built this.
Oh yeah.
For me, my sister, my sisters, and my mum. I had one of my carpenter friends. He came and framed up the work, but I done the tiling myself. I done all the plumbing, the drainage, the toilet, I installed the sink, everything myself. I could imagine those cold nights we'd have a shower, then we'd have to like literally walk around
on the outside.
Come into our home. This is what we had to go through growing up, you know. It's just, and again, guys, I look at this like I'm so grateful and blessed. Like I had such a beautiful family, very supportive family. But this is the reality of, you know, my upbringing, and like I said, this made me who I am today. And the big reason why I like to give back, and I have a heart for those who do struggle, is because I seen it firsthand with my family and myself. So literally 100 meters down the road from the house I grew up in, there's a preschool right here, and this is where I went when I was a little kid. And a funny little story, what I remember about this preschool was my grandfather, Fangia, God rest his soul, he used to pick me up every single day from preschool. And there was one day he came and he used to just stand literally at the front gate and like wave out to me, then I'd run out. And one day this kid was like, man, your grandfather looks so funny. Like he's got a funny face. And he was old, you know, old Tongan guy. Like they're probably not used to brown men around here, older men. And I remember going home and I'm like, Fangia, I remember telling him, can you like, tali mama'o mei oku ako oku, tamai ki oku mata whai ke he goia. Like I'm pretty much telling him that the kids were telling me that he had a funny face, can you stay away and I'll come and meet you around the corner. I remember him going off, and in saying that, every day moving forward, he'll literally come, open the gate and come straight to the front to get me. And I used to get so embarrassed. You know, I was a young kid, but thinking back now, man, I miss him so much, and I appreciate everything he used to do for me and all the siblings, like all my siblings and my cousins. He'll get out of his way, give us his last dollar. Whatever we wanted, he'll do his best to be there for us. That was the main thing I remember about my grandfather. It wasn't the money, it was his time, the prayers he used to do for the family. That's what I remember the most. And I'll forever be grateful, because that's really embedded in me as a person, for my family, and moving forward. Yeah, so if you grew up in Eastwood, you would know there used to be a McDonald's there. Tonyon supermarket. Back in the days, that was like a McDonald's right there. I'm talking like 20 plus years ago. And around the corner, right now it's like a Chinatown, but around the corner, if you turn left those lights at the back there, used to be a KFC. But now there's no KFC, no McDonald's. There used to be a Red Rooster over there as well, right across the road from the school. That was my first primary school, Eastwood Public. That's the school that I got expelled in kindergarten for stealing. But yeah, memories. This is my favorite restaurant in Eastwood called Barbecue One. I grew up eating at this place and I still come here to this day at least 3 to 4 times a week. Maybe because I'm just used to it, you know, it's like comfort food for me. I just feel comfortable in this area. I grew up in this area, so when I come back here and eat, I just enjoy myself, you know. So this has been here for over 20 years. So I remember the grand opening and it's still here. I still come back here. It's a very interesting story how we ended up in Eastwood. So my uncle, Sone Lahi, he was the first one that moved to Australia out of the whole family. And because he got a job in North Ryde, they moved him to Eastwood. He was living at his boss's place, the house we just went to. So that's how we ended up in Eastwood. If it wasn't for him, we would have probably grown up in another area, somewhere far out west. So big shout out to Sone. I think a big part of my mindset is growing up here in Eastwood, you know, growing up around Asians. I was able to learn their mindset, growing up around the Arabs, the Lebos. They taught me a lot as well over the years. So shout out to Sone. He done a lot for the family. Yeah, we still come back here to this day. I love this place, Eastwood. Thank you. Welcome to Barbecue One Eastwood. You know what's funny? I bring a lot of my friends here that's never like been to these sort of restaurants, and they see the meat like hanging and they freak out. But for me, this is so good. This is what I grew up eating, and this is what I love: barbecue pork, soy chicken, roasted duck, roasted pork, all of it. I love it all. Beef brisket too, beef brisket and rice. This guy, don't look at this guy, he would eat anything. He would eat anything. One barbecue pork soy chicken with steamed rice. Make it 2 of those. Another barbecue pork with duck and rice. But for the duck, I get the breast. And can we get the beef brisket hot pot with vermicelli, please? Yeah, baby. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. So we got this, some duck, barbecue pork, plum sauce for the duck, and we got some beef brisket with vermicelli coming. I still come here about 3 to 4 times a week, even though I live far away. This is home for me, you know. When I come here, I just feel at home. I feel comfortable. I love the food. I know the quality, the taste, everything about it. It just doesn't hit the same anywhere else. That's why I still come back here. Lot of vida? Amen. Honest review, yeah? Honest review. Wow. Every time. They give you a complimentary soup. Very tasty. See that chili? It's very hot too. If you haven't tried duck before, get it today, ASAP. Wow, bro. Look at that, beef brisket with vermicelli. Yes, if you ever come to Eastwood, Barbecue One, make sure you try the beef brisket with vermicelli and all the meats in the window. It's next level. So this place is like home to me. It's like mum's cooking. That's why I always come back, you know, it just feels at home. Even the staff, like I know everyone here, mum's cooking pretty much. Yeah, oh, that's where the KFC used to be, right there. See where that tree is? That's where KFC used to be. For those that know Eastwood but weren't around back then, we used to have a KFC, Red Rooster, and McDonald's, now none, straight Chinatown. Hey, I'm not complaining, the best food. Since I was a baby, I used to play in this fountain. It's probably the same water too, look at the color. I remember running around here, jumping on these pipes, running across here, slipping. The amount of times I've fallen over and hurt myself. It's crazy that it's still here. For me, when I come back here, it just grounds me. It just reminds me of like my upbringing, where I came from. And it's very humbling. All this is pretty much the same as well. Few new shops, like that's new, but the shopping center is pretty OG, so I'll show you the shopping center. Eastwood Shopping Center. Same floors, there's been no renovations. Now that Eastwood Dry Cleaners, that's been here forever, since I was a baby, and they're still here. Now check out the back there. See that big area at the back there? There used to be a Target. I remember I used to come here and steal. I used to always steal from that Target. It was so easy. The reason why it was easy, they used to have someone at the front, but the person at the front didn't really care. So I used to just duck it and just walk straight out every single time. The last thing they would have expected was like a 8 to 10-year-old stealing, you know what I mean? And that's just how it was when I was younger. Like stealing was so normal. My older cousins were doing it. They taught us how to do it, and we used to just steal all the time. What you're about to see right now, tell me this isn't the oldest Woolworths you've ever seen. It has not changed since I was a kid. Look at the sign, look at the signage. That signage is OG. Has to be the oldest Woolies in the area. Bro, look who's here, my mum's here. This was not planned, I promise on everything, this was not planned. Hey, mama. What are you doing? Good, man, I have not been to this Woolworths, I reckon in like 5+, look how shy she is. I've not been to this Woolworths in like 5+ years, and my mum still comes here. That's crazy. But then again, she lives around here. I don't live around here. Look at that logo. That's still the same from when I was a kid. And you know what's crazy too? The amount of chocolates and lollies I've stolen over the years. It was so normal just to like pocket a few lollies and just walk straight out, you know? No one really would look at a little kid walking out. It was just so normal for me. Obviously we don't do that shit no more, but it's crazy. The last time I was here with my mum was when I was a little kid. Like I'm talking primary school. That's the last time I've been here with my mum, and to think that I'm seeing her now, so many years later, is crazy. But what I do remember coming here with my mum was most of the time her card would always decline because there was never money in her bank account. Like she would just wait for work or the pay to come through, and we'd just test it out, get a whole bunch of shopping, and it was always declining. Like 8 out of 10 times it would decline. But we're grateful, we're blessed, times have changed. All that has come down to my mindset. You know, you have to get yourself out of this situation. I could have played a victim with that upbringing or whatever it may be and just kind of got stuck in that cycle, but it was up to me to elevate. You know, it's up to me to make change and get my hustle up, you know? So things have changed and we're truly blessed. Yeah, just touching on elevating, right? As I was growing, I had to leave a lot of friends behind because a lot of people don't grow with you, right? If you're trying to get yourself and restructure yourself, your mindset, you have to break off from other people. Like when I was growing up, I had a lot of friends that were getting into the wrong things and getting into trouble, and I started getting into a lot of trouble. So I knew I had to cut away from them, as hard as it was, because I looked at them as brothers, people I truly loved. I knew there was no other way. I had to break out of that friendship or leave people behind so I can move forward. And now I'm in a position where I can help the younger generation that's coming up, where they can see me, someone that's actually doing it, someone that's actually made moves, and learn from me. Where are you heading off to now?
Back to the Batmobile.
Oh yeah, you got a Batmobile?
I do.
What do you got?
I've got everything, mate.
I've got a Batmobile.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's in it?
Oh, so he reckons he's got a Batmobile. I said, I got a Batmobile. What's your Batmobile?
2009 Hyundai Tucson.
Show me a photo.
Pronounced Tucson, by the way.
Show me a photo of your Batmobile.
Just there.
I'll show you my Batmobile. Look.
It's just there next to the
I'll show you my
subway.
Batmobile.
Yes.
But look, bro, I wish you all the best, man. God bless you too, my bro.
You have an anointing on you, my friend. You can lay hands on the front of my car and bless it, because I've been attacked by Satanists that many times. I've had 3 car accidents in 3 weeks.
Hold on, so you're saying you've been attacked by Satan. What do you want me to do?
Oh, just put a hand on the Batmobile and bless it.
God bless it for you, my brother.
Yeah.
God bless this and God bless you, my bro. All right? Take care. Much love, eh?
I'll
Take
see
care.
you in heaven, mate.
Dan, I'll see you in heaven, bro. You can tell this bloke's going through a few things, you know? If I can give a bit of my time, give a bit of my power, my energy to others that need it, I'm all for it. I feel like God's blessed me with these superpowers. Like I'm never down, I'm never MIA, I'm never out of reach, I'm always on. And again, it's all thanks to God, you know, He's given me this fucking power. I feel untouchable. Those that have known me over the years, those that have been following me for years, know I'll never take a day off. I'm never MIA, I'm always on because I'm blessed and I appreciate my blessings, you know. I'm not gonna take advantage of it. I'm not gonna be lazy. I'm not gonna be a victim. I'm gonna keep fucking going. And that's what you need to do. If you wanna get to where I am, or you know what, I hope you get further than me. It starts with your mindset. You gotta hustle. You gotta want more. Don't expect everything to come to you. You have to work for it. That's the only way out of this shit, straight out. Yeah, here's the Eastwood Oval. I spent years with my cousins playing football, just kicking around, coming down here, hanging out with the friends, my upbringing. Now over here, this is where Franklin's used to be. Do you remember Franklin's? There's no more Franklin's in Australia, but this is where it used to be. Now this side of Eastwood, there's plenty of like seafood, meats for sale. The other side is more restaurants, but over here it's more, yeah, supermarkets, fruits, veggies. This is where you come to get a bargain and the best of the best fresh. You know what I love about Eastwood? Another reason why I keep coming here, they haven't changed much. It's still the same, like the infrastructure. So I still feel like home when I come here. Like it still reminds me of when I was a little kid. I used to come here, play, sit on these seats, these escalators, it's all still here. Do you know what I remember about this telephone booth? I remember when I was a young kid, I was at Eastwood Oval, I was playing kicks with my cousin, and these three boys, they came and they just started picking on me and my cousin. We were little kids, you know? They picked on us and, bruh, we shat our pants. We were little kids kicking the footy, and it was like almost nighttime. I remember coming right here, and I called my cousin. I go, his name was Duck. Shout out to Duck. I love him, my older cousin. I go, Duck, bro, I'm crying. I remember crying on the phone. I go, we just got, this guy tried to fight us. I remember crying on the phone, snot coming down, just, bro, I was bawling my eyes out. Within 2 minutes, I remember his car. He used to drive a, is it a Nissan Exa? Speeding down, beeping, jumped out, grabbed one of him, punched him right in front of me, and I just remember thinking like, fuck, that's my superhero, bro. Fuck, I got goosebumps talking about it now. I remember thinking like, that's my superhero. Like, he came and saved me, he came and helped me. I'll never forget that feeling that he gave me. And these are the feelings that make me want to give to other people, you know, hope, security, knowing that like there's people out there. If you get stuck, you need to be able to call someone for help. When I was coming up, when I got into business, I had no one to call for help. I had to learn the hard way. I was too embarrassed, I was too prideful to get help from others. So, but what I did have was commitment. I did not give up, no matter what. No matter how many times I fell, I was so prideful, I just kept coming back up, trying to figure out a way. But now I'm at a point now where I feel like my foundation is super solid, my network is strong, so I can, you know, I can do a lot more and give back. So much love and stay strong. Check it out, Eastwood Public. So this was my first primary school. And I went to kindergarten there. I think I lasted a couple of months. And then, like I said before, I got caught stealing and they wanted me out of there. So from there, I went to St. Kevin's, which we'll drive past right now too. This was St. Kevin's. So I went to St. Kevin's from kindergarten all the way to year 6. Nothing but good memories. I don't remember anything that was kind of, you know, negative about that school. Then right next door here, Morris College Eastwood. This was the high school I went to. One thing I would love to find is Mr. Robertson. So this guy was I think he was second in charge, like what do you call it? Not the principal, he was the vice principal. But this guy, he had a soft spot for me. Every time I used to get suspended, they'd always call my mum in, my mum would always cry, and he would always just try to like talk some sense into me. He'd just be like, come on, Biordi, you know, like look at your mum, man, like what's going on at home, you know? They'd ring my dad would just literally tell him, get fucked, call the police. That's how my dad was, he didn't give a fuck. But when it came to my mum and myself, Mr. Robertson, he had a soft spot for me. I wish I could find this guy. I would send him on a around the world holiday. That's how much love and respect I have for this guy. He helped me in life, you know. He always made me feel like, even though I was naughty, someone cared enough to try to guide me in the right direction. That's what he done to me. He just made me feel like he cared, you know. When my mum would just cry, my dad would not care, but this guy would show me that he actually cared. And he wanted me to do better, you know? So, Mr. Robertson, shout out to you, my bro. Yeah, this is Eastwood. This is where I grew up. So many memories, man. So many memories that molded me to the person I am today. So that's it. That's Eastwood, just like that. You're able to see where I grew up, how I grew up, a few stories just to understand my mindset. But what I want you to get from this video is understanding my mindset. No matter where you start, no matter what you go through, you're gonna keep pushing forward. Don't get ahead of yourself. That's where most people stuff up, you know, they get ahead of themselves. I always stay a student. That's why coming back to Eastwood just reminds me to stay humble, stay grateful, because it just gives me a lot of memories when I was a kid, you know, all the struggles I went through. Even though it was always blessings, it's not like I had crazy struggles compared to a lot of these people out there. Some struggles I've heard of, I wouldn't be able to handle that shit, but Eastwood for me is home, and I'm forever grateful for my upbringing, for my family, from this little town, and I hope you guys got a nice little insight with that. Much love.